You mean kids have bad backs? No, kids may have bad backs or bad necks, but I got to tell you, when I tell people that I'm a pediatric chiropractor, that's the response that I always get. And I want to clear up this confusion on what chiropractors actually do, and specifically neurologically focused pediatric chiropractors that really look at how the nervous system's functioning. And there's four premises that I'm going to discuss to give you a big picture. Then we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. So you have this. Hey, the last video, the first part, I urge you to go watch that. That might help you as well. But you can start with this one as too. So the big first premise is we have to understand that we are designed to be healthy. Think about it. We are self-regulating, meaning we can regulate ourselves, or we should have the ability to do so. We are self-healing, meaning that, hey, we're able to heal ourselves. Evidence of this, people that have broken their ankle, people that have broken any bones, cut on their wound, we are designed to heal. Now, there might need to be some medical intervention because we go to exertion. There's certain limits to what our body can do, and it definitely helps the healing process when you get the medical intervention, especially under crisis care, like an auto accident or those types of things. God bless those people that do that as well. Okay, but you have to understand that the nervous system controls every function of the body. It controls the way we are programmed and designed to work. Now, what happens if the nervous system is not working properly? Well, if the nervous system's not working properly, the body's not going to work properly. Your children aren't going to work properly. We're not able to perceive our environment properly. We're not able to control our behavior properly. We're not able to digest food properly, certain processes in our bodies properly. So the job of myself as a chiropractor is to find these areas where the nervous system is not working properly and restore function to the nervous system and allow your body to work properly. So let's make this simple for you. Let's give you some great analogies. I'll tell you, you already know this concept. You just do not know that you know it. And this is going to be so easy for you to understand. And you'll be able to apply it to your children if they're having some struggles, or you're yourself if you're having a struggle as well with a health challenge. So let's make this real for you. How about that, okay? You all have a breaker box in your house, and chances are that you had to go down and you had to flip the switch because, hey, there's a breaker that tripped. Turn the switch, click it, do this. This happened to me about 6 months ago. I would go down and trip the switch, it would switch back on. I would go down and turn the switch, it would switch back on. Until I had an electrician who did the same thing for my house as I do for people. He had to find out where the short circuit was. And it turns out there was water in this one little wire, and it had bare wire in it and the outside to the light outside. But that one area was affecting the hall light that wouldn't turn on, was affecting the den light that wouldn't turn on, the light going down to the stairs, the basement lights, because of one little bare wire that was exposed to water constantly was causing a problem everywhere else. Same way it works with your body as well. If we have one nerve that's affected, okay, whether that's a trauma, that is, hey, you physically go down and turn that switch, or you physically turn that nerve off, and say it's the nerve that goes down to the legs, since I know a lot of people know what sciatica is, or the nerve that controls the stomach and create heartburn, or having problems digesting food, or respiratory or issues like asthma. So that nerve isn't working properly, it's going to eventually start to show up as symptoms. So no different than if you turn the switch off to the TV isn't working, okay? Neither is the light in the living room working. Neither is the ceiling fan going to work as well, because those nerves or those wires aren't working to the end organ or the end appliance as well. I hope that makes sense to you. And we see those cases like in trauma. But there's another way to trip that breaker box too. What happens if we overload the circuit? Think about this. We plug the blender in, we plug the toaster in, the microwave, the dishwasher, the oven, and the crock pot, the air fryer, and the refrigerator, and curling iron if you just happen to want to do your curling iron in the kitchen, okay? What's going to happen? It's going to blow the circuit, and that's what stress does to the nervous system. It overwhelms the neurology, or overwhelms the nervous system. And particularly in kids, they're a lot more susceptible to stress. Why? Because their nervous system is still developing. They're processing information, and they're using that information to develop their brain. So they're more susceptible to stress. It scrambles their brain a lot more than adults that are a little bit more hardwired. Still can be changed, but a lot more hardwired than kids are able to, and it blows the circuit. So we know that trips the breaker. We know that it's not going to allow that nervous system to function because there's an excessive stress. That can be emotional stress, chemical stress. For a child, it might be, hey, you took the blue cup. It could be trauma from birth trauma. It can be stress just from a divorce for a child, God forbid, but going back in house can be very stressful on a child. Those types of situations, school problems, bullying is an issue with emotional stress. So that all adds up throughout their life. And the thing you have to remember is this stress sticks in the nervous system. It stays in the nervous system and it starts to build up, and it can actually trigger in the nervous system. Ever been in a car accident? Still to this day, I tell you, still to this day, anytime a car comes up really quick to a stop sign and it feels like they're not going to stop, I get jitters in my stomach because I was in a car accident when I was 16 years old where a car pulled right out in front of me. Still gives me the triggers, and it can happen to you as well. So I want to make this clear, and I hope this makes sense to you so you can understand this. Now apply this to your children. Let's say they're having chronic respiratory issues. Does it make sense that we have to go back and look at the nerves that are affecting their lungs? If your child's having digestive issues, maybe we need to look at the nerves that are affecting their stomach, okay? Measure that. Hey, if they're having behavioral issues, hey, maybe there's an increased stress going to the brain. And don't you think we should measure that? Well, we definitely can. And that's what I do as a neurologically focused pediatric chiropractor is look at how this stress and how these nerves are functioning in the body, specifically different parts of the nervous system that controls different parts of the body, or it controls how we perceive our environment. I hope this makes sense to you, and I hope you're able to apply this very clearly and understand, hey, this is what chiropractic is about. That's why you see kids and help people with ADHD. That's why you help kids with sensory processing. That's why you help kids with dysautonomia that couldn't stand up, failure to thrive, chronic headaches, learning disorders, ear infections, bronchial infections, growing pains, failure to grow, allergies, you name it. I've probably seen many of them, and things that I can't even explain as well, because we're looking at how the nervous system's functioning and restoring that nervous system function too. Hey, I want this to make sense to you. I hope this makes sense to you. And if you need help applying it, maybe to your situation, your children's situation, I'd be happy to help walk you through it, even get you a guide, maybe even send you some information that would be helpful for you to understand as well. Hey, I am Dr. Randy Wirtz, pediatric chiropractor, here to help you and your family and the community thrive. Take care. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Bye-bye.